All right, we're live. Wow, I already get 3 viewers, 4 viewers. This is amazing, guys. The internet's so cool. You can you can go live. You can order books online. You can check the weather. You can do a lot of cool shit on the internet, guys. Wow, look at this. All right, welcome back to my channel, guys. Sorry for keeping you waiting. I was about to go live, and then the nurses and the staff came in to just give me a quick update on what's going on. So hello to On the Ground. If you guys are not following, if you're not following On the Ground, what are you doing with your lives? This is Tara, my wing girl. She's here supporting me. I got my 2 dogs with me, Raindrop and Cloud, my 2 best friends. My baby. My spirits remain high, guys. I've had 3 blood transfusions so far today in the last, I guess, 12 hours or so. They've pumped me up with 3 units of blood. And so you guys know, I did ask for unvaccinated, untainted blood. I said, can you guys give me some unvaccinated blood? But apparently, they don't really break it up that way. So odds are, just the odds alone, whatever blood I received had some sort of antibodies, whether it was from the vaccine or the virus. But I'm proud to say, if that is the case, I'm still unvaccinated. So no matter what, guys, I'm still unvaccinated. So now we're waiting for them to get the surgeon, who is then going to install a catheter in my chest somewhere up here. They're going to install the catheter into my bloodstream, and that is going to be necessary for dialysis. Now, apparently, according to the nephrologist here, which is a similar story to the nephrologist in Mexico, he says that my kidneys have basically fallen asleep. That's what he said. So a lot of you in the comments recommended that I get a second opinion, a third opinion. I've already gotten the podiatrist original opinion, the nephrologist opinion in Mexico, and then I got this nephrologist's opinion. And everyone has been consistent with the same thing. My kidneys have failed. I guess this is considered end-stage renal failure. The major mystery, though, is how I'm still a functioning human. Every doctor has said the same story. Every nurse too is just like, makes no sense how you're walking, talking, eating, you're not nauseous, you're going to the gym. They think it's very bizarre. The nephrologist here said that in 15 years, he has not seen kidney damage this bad in his career, which is kind of scary to hear. Now, I don't know if he was being bombastic, kind of like something Trump would do. This is the worst kidney I've ever seen. But the doctor here said it was the worst kidneys he's ever seen. And that pretty much sucks to hear. But I don't know the percentage, but dialysis is absolutely necessary. I'll tell you this, guys. There's something called creatinine in your blood. Creatinine is like a byproduct, a waste byproduct. And just to give you an idea of numbers, right? A good range of creatinine is like 0.6 to 1.5, right? 0.6 to 1.5. So if your blood comes back and your creatinine level is in that range of 0.5 to 1.6, you're considered perfect health. If you're at 2 or more, which is just slightly above the range, you're considered in trouble. I was at 25. Guys, 25. I am 10 times higher than the level that you should be at. My creatinine, 10 times higher. So That's excessively high. That's apparently dangerously high. Um, they're saying things like, first of all, you guys understand something how weird this is. I was just traveling, walking around the airport, lifting weights at the gym, eating normally, and all these doctors are telling me that I was on death's doorstep. Do you know how weird that is? To feel healthy, to feel like this, to look like this, and then be told, "Oh no, this is actually close to death." If this is close to death, I just don't understand what death is anymore. If this is what almost dying is, I don't get it, because I've been on YouTube. I've seen, there was a girl that I recently followed on TikTok. Her name was Jessica Christine, and she had some kind of terminal cancer. And if you look at her YouTube channel, just go on TikTok, type in Jessica Christine, you'll find her. I interviewed her on my channel here. I interviewed her. But you watch her videos over the past year, or you scroll back, you see a visible difference in her. She became a skeleton by the end of her life. She was so frail and sickly and skinny, and her brain was going. She wasn't sharp. She would forget things. She couldn't stay focused. Look at me, guys. Look at this. Look at this. This is I'm fine. My weight is fine. I'm starving. They're telling me I should be nauseous. They're telling me that I should have no energy right now at this point, or shouldn't have had no energy at this point, but we're here. Let me see if I can read some of these comments now. Sorry, guys. I wasn't looking at the comments. Blaze Bob says, nothing can stop this man from smiling. No matter what, you were very positive, and that actually helps a ton. Can you percentage? That I don't know. Tara being there is aces. Way more important than any political mission. I wanted to say that political mission, guys, is larger than me, right? Like, we all know that. And obviously, my health is the most important thing right now to me. And I need to be healthy to do the mission. But ultimately, we can't forget how important the mission is, guys. Like, my life is just one life of 350 million Americans that are being hurt by Joe Biden. And it is important that we keep fighting, because we want to make sure that we improve the lives of all the people that come after us, all of our children. So the mission is very important, and we're going to keep fighting as much as we possibly can. Blood pressure actually has been going up and down. My blood pressure has always been high, usually like 140 over 90, around then. But I actually had it down to 128 over 85 today. Did you hear that, Tara? I had my blood pressure down to normal because I was calm.
Yeah, that's true. Because your mind is going to.
When I was relaxing and sleeping, they did my blood pressure, and I was normal.
Yeah. The thing is that's how stress is going to impact you, and it degenerates at your cells, because you're at a cellular level. Your stress, like this hormonal, and stress kills.
Right.
Stress kills. So that's the importance of whenever you're going through something, you gotta keep yourself from being stressed and reacting to that stress, because down to a cellular level, it's going to impact your ability to then get through what you need to get through.
Right. So that's the story with the blood pressure, guys. Let's see what else. Adam, did you get the vax? Everyone I know that has kidney problems. No, I did not get the vaccine. Snook says you will get through this. Robin's Nest says, my mom died of kidney disease at stage 5. There is no returning. I don't know. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure I'm at stage 5 at this point. I don't know. They said that my kidneys are not working anymore, and that I need emergency dialysis. So it is possible that I'm at stage 5. They haven't said those words yet, but I'm pretty sure that's where I am. The only good things that I can take from this are that I'm relatively young. I'm not a smoker, not an alcoholic, and what's the last one I was going to say? I'm not symptomatic. I'm still peeing. There's no piss. There's no blood in my piss. Uh, I still feel great. Now, you could argue that the way I feel right now, to me, is normal, but maybe I actually have been weak for a long time. You could make that argument that what I think is normal is actually weak. I don't know. I feel pretty good. I was at the gym yesterday doing a normal workout. And the only reason why my workout was a little sluggish yesterday was because of all the mental stress of me knowing. I mean, at the time I was in Dallas. I was at the hotel in Dallas, and I'm nervous about this, about where I am now. I knew that this is where I was hoping this is not where I was going to end up. So there was a lot of stress on my mind when I was working out, but I still worked out yesterday. Normal workout, The doctor here said dialysis is going to be a lifelong thing for me, probably. So it's going to be lifelong until I have a replacement, I guess, a transplant. So that means I'll have to probably come to a hospital 3 times a week, 4 hours a session, it sounds like. So 12 hours a week I'll be sitting in a chair. And I'm debating doing a live stream show during my dialysis. Tara, I'd be the
Dialysis AF.
dialysis AF. I'd be the only one doing that, though. That'd be the first to market on YouTube, a live podcast from the dialysis chair. We could have some fun with that. Guys. That could be the brand new podcast environment. And yeah, eventually we can do the dialysis at home. I'm not thinking about that yet. What I'm thinking about now is getting this catheter installed today, because I haven't eaten in 18 hours. I'm fucking starving. And they won't let me eat because they want to do a colonoscopy tomorrow.
Good call on having the last meal before you got here.
Should have finished it.
Yeah.
But I am so hungry.
When we were on our way here, Adam's like pulling off to Green Fiddler or Mean Fiddler or whatever it is. And
Green Fiddler.
Green Fiddler in Winter Park. He's like, I'm getting a last burger before I get to the hospital.
Yeah,
Okay.
I got a last meal, a last cheeseburger. Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping that I can live a long life. I want to make it to at least a life expectancy of 78. That would be really, at this point, I mean, that would be a gift at this point, I guess. But right now, I want to get this catheter installed today as soon as possible because I need to eat. I'm like so hungry. And I'm just thinking about what my first meal is going to be. It might be McDonald's at this point. I don't give a shit. I am so hungry. And, one thing at a time. We'll get this catheter installed today, and they'll do their first round of dialysis. And then we'll see how it feels. Now, the blood transfusion went really well. I'll say that. My hemoglobins were dangerously low. I was considered severely anemic. Apparently, I lost 2/3 of the blood that my organs need to survive. 2/3 of the blood I was down. So now the question is, where did the blood go? Tara?
Well, two different ways we can approach it is that his body over chronic time was not producing that blood. So over past, however long, it's not that the blood went somewhere, it's that your body wasn't producing it. So that's one potential, and that's why you're going to be having the different tests they're going to run to make sure you're not having any form of an internal bleeding. Because the other side of it is, if your body was producing it, where did the blood go? Because you were down to 1/3 of the blood necessary for any human to function.
My guess is that my body wasn't producing the blood cells
I was thinking that.
because I don't think I'm bleeding anywhere. I don't have the symptoms of someone who's bleeding internally. So I think that they're going to dismiss that as an option.
I think an important point to highlight is like the so I mean, all of us use ibuprofen, for instance. Like when you when you have a hangover, the next morning you take an ibuprofen. Some of us, like, depending on if we want to wait it out, we'll take it loose. I know I'm pretty, like, if I have a little bit of a headache, I'll even take ibuprofen. So there is speculation to the amount of ibuprofen, which didn't to me seem even that excessive. Adam, like, as I can relate to taking probably the same amount you were. But they think that might be something that had triggered the acute nature of it, because you have two different things going on. You have a chronic issue that is a health issue, and then you have an acute nature to it. So the ibuprofen is something that could have potentially pushed you over the edge. So with that, we want to just highlight, when you guys, everybody, like I'm hearing this and I'm like, I'm never touching ibuprofen ever again. But you can take ibuprofen, but you don't want to overly do it. And then if you're doing it like daily, which, because of Adam's gout, he was doing it as a pain management thing, but that can cause an ulcer, and the ulcer is what can then cause bleeding into your system. So just be cautious with something that even is a everyday medication, ibuprofen, over the counter. It's something that could potentially cause harm.
Yeah, I was probably taking too much ibuprofen, guys, because
How much were you taking?
600 milligrams a day.
How many pills, tablets is
3.
that? See, even when we
On
know
average.
that now, like, because even for me, I hear 3 and I'm like, oh, that's something I probably would have taken on a daily basis. If, you know, I'll pop 2. If I have a headache in the morning, I'll pop 2, and maybe in the afternoon take another 2. So that doesn't even sound excessive to me. But now with what you're going through, and then they're highlighting that as a potential contributing factor, like that, you know, it just shows you really got to be careful, even with what, three tablets of ibuprofen a day.
Yeah. I mean, look, I was in a situation where I couldn't walk for 10 weeks because of my gout. I mean, the pain was so great, my foot. And then even when the max pain subsided, I had a lot of pain for about 7 weeks, where it felt like super sprained ankle. It was horrible for 10 weeks. And that was just, you know, my kidneys crying out for help. And I was telling the nurses this and the doctors, one of the weirdest parts of this whole situation was the taste of alcohol changed for me about 10 weeks ago. So 10 weeks ago, I was at the casino with my friend Pete, 5-star Pete, not 4-star, not 3-star, 5-star Pete. And that was the last time I drank, and I somewhat enjoyed it. But that's when it started to have a difficult time going down. And then we went out to a bar in Orlando, Howl at the Moon on iDrive. And I ordered a old fashioned, my favorite drink. And the bartender gave me the old fashioned, and it tasted so off. So I made her make me a new one, and I got the new one, and the second one tasted just as bad as the first one. And I was like, I'm not drinking this. I'm not drinking here, guys. And then I went to Puerto Vallarta, as you guys know. I was just in Mexico, Puerto Vallarta. And I went to my favorite bar there. Last year, my favorite bar was Margarita Grill, right in the romantic zone. And they have these huge margarita cocktails. So I sat down, ordered a drink, skinny margarita on the rocks, no salt. And as soon as it hit my lips, I wanted to throw up. Really strange. And that was the only time I drank. I think I might have had 2 drinks the entire time I was in Mexico this time, because I was so repulsed by alcohol, which is such an uncommon thing for me. Because if you guys know me, I love to drink. Am I right, Tara?
Yeah.
I love to go out to the bar. Not excessively, but I will get drunk. But I love to go to the bar, have some whiskeys with some bacon inside. That's when me and Tara first went out. We went to a bar, and they gave us old fashioned with
bacon.
bacon. That was good. But the doctors here said, some of them said that my body was rejecting the alcohol as a call for help. It was basically trying to protect itself by altering my taste buds. I thought that was so interesting. So
The body's interesting how it'll protect itself.
I will say that there are, in the past 10 weeks, there's been subtle symptoms I've had of kidney failure, which I did not realize at the time were kidney failure, because each thing that happened, I had a reasonable excuse for it in my head. Okay. There was one live stream I did, guys. This was a couple months ago, where I woke up from a nap, and when I woke up, I had a hard time speaking. I had a hard time forming words. It was the weirdest thing in the world. But I'm thinking it's in my head. I'm like, this is just in my head. But my jaw had a hard time moving. Like I felt off coordinating my speech. And I remember I was on a live with you guys, and I don't know if you caught it because it was subtle, but I felt it. I was like, why am I struggling speaking right now? So that was one of the first symptoms I had. Another time was I was hungover, and I got up to shower at your place, Tara, and my legs felt like jelly. I've never felt like that before. It felt so weak. I had to sit down and just be like, all right, let me feel my legs. Let me calm down. That could have been a sign of kidney failure, but I didn't realize that. I thought it was just hungover. When I was at the casino with 5-star Pete, not 4-star, not 3-star, 5-star Pete, when I was at the casino with him, my legs were cramping up once I got to the bedroom.
You've been having a lot of cramps.
Yeah, I've been having a lot of cramps, but my legs were cramping up every 10 minutes. The calves, the thighs, the knees, everything, the feet. The foot cramps are the worst. And I assumed that was because I was drinking for 24 hours straight and that I was dehydrated. So every time I had a kidney failing symptom, I had a reasonable explanation in my head for what was causing that. And that made me feel like I was okay, because I'm like, oh, just dehydrated. Let me drink more water. And I would drink water and it would solve the problem. Oh, I have a gout flare up. Let me take my allopurinol. Okay, it's gone. So I was able to treat every symptom pretty reasonably. So I just really was doing a good job of I guess, blocking or covering up the symptoms. Now, beyond those small instances, I have no idea how I'm so functional at this level. Gym-wise, hungry-wise, energy-wise. Like, I'm still here feeling totally normal. And here the doctors are telling me that I'm on death's doorstep. You know. Oh, I want to say to you guys that all this has given me a greater appreciation for life and all that stuff. But the reality is I already had that appreciation for life. You know, I'm not gaining that lesson from this, because I've always felt that life is too short. I've always prioritized travel and free time and living for myself over monotonous life. I mean, a lot of you know this already, but the Be Free My Sheeple, my whole tagline, it never was meant to be a political thing. It started as don't work a 9 to 5, create your own career, try to maximize your free time, spend more time traveling, spend more time with family, spend more time with friends. That was the whole point of the Be Free My Sheeple platform. And then when I got red pilled in 2020, I reluctantly switched over to a political message because, well, number one, I enjoyed it. Number two, it triggered the liberals, which I thought was great. Number three, it was an important message in my opinion. And number four, I did enjoy the traffic that was coming with it. You know, you slap Trump 2024 on things as a hashtag, and I was getting more engagement than ever before. So, you know, that definitely played a small role early on. It's like a feedback loop, but now I'm really passionate about the mission. I'm really into it, obviously, and I love it. But I haven't had that like, wow, this whole thing gave me appreciation for life. I've already felt that for a long time. For the past 6 years, I felt 7 years this way, that life is short, life is precious, and I know that death is inevitable for all of us. Death is coming for every one of us. Me, you, Tara, my dogs, everyone watching. So, you know, this is not like, wow, guys, my life is going to be so different. Now, I will say, my life is going to change. I was referring to my perspective, my outlook. But my life is going to change, right? Like, I'm going to have to do dialysis now, 3 days a week. I'm going to have to make sure I'm by a hospital. Probably can't drink too much alcohol anymore.
No alcohol.
I'm not going to be zero. Come on. Birthdays and stuff.
No alcohol.
And, we're going to have a cocktail at some point. But I'm not worried about that because I don't even want alcohol right now. If somebody gave me a drink right now, I'd be like, nope, don't want it. Gonna have to probably cook more meals for myself. So that'll make me a more desirable man for the ladies, right? If I
Real
learn
men know how to cook.
real men know how to cook. As my friend Bear Williams says, if you don't know how to cook, what the fuck is wrong with you? It's 2022 and you're not cooking yet? Really? Really? But no, for real. This will make my life more inconvenient. But again, once I'm in the schedule, then it's going to become my new normal, and then it's the new normal, and then it's not a big deal anymore, right? It's like when you don't have a dog and then you have a dog. It's a lot of sacrifice early on and a lot of responsibility, but eventually your dogs become your family, and that responsibility becomes your normal, and it's something that you want to do. You know, like I love taking care of my dogs more than anything, even though picking up their shit, when I do pick it up, is a nuisance. Cody, probably years of hypertension, high blood pressure, is probably what caused my kidney failure over time. I think. I'm still not really in belief that my kidneys have failed because look at me, guys. Look at me. Does this look like a guy who's missing a major organ? I don't think so. But the one thing I will say is when they were doing the first transfusion, they made me sign this document, which basically said that a possible side effect is death. Like, what the fuck? It literally says you accept the risk that death is an outcome of this medical procedure. It's weird to sign a document where you're willingly accepting that right. But then I looked at it and I thought, just living every day, you accept that right. Hello.
Hi.
Is it time?
It is. I'm Dr. Carson.
All right, guys, we gotta hop off. Shh. Show respect when you drop. I'll be back later, guys. They're gonna give me an update. Shh. Enough. All right, guys. Peace out. Let me end this live.